Hello everyone and welcome to another Top 5 Records video. Another one in the series in which I'm taking a closer look at the full body of work of David Bowie, and today we have arrived in 1981, and although I'm not including compilation albums, I am making an exception for this one because it's categorized among his soundtrack albums, and I do want to include Bowie's soundtrack albums, though this is not a soundtrack album of unique compositions. It is, though, where my love for David Bowie started. It started with this film, Christiana F. Wir Kinder Vom Bahnhof Zoo. This is a German film. It's a German title. The it's a The film is based on a book which is called Diary of a Junkie. That's also where the title Wir Kinder vom Bahnhof Zoo refers to, We Children from Zoo Station. And Zoo Station was the station in Berlin West where a lot of young people were selling themselves to customers so they could afford their drug habit. A polite way of putting it, because this is the story of a 14-year-old heroin junkie who had to work the streets to maintain her habit. It's a true story. It is written by the main character herself, though in the film there is an actress portraying her. Now, what does this have to do with Bowie, and why did David Bowie um, contribute with a soundtrack? Well, and not only a soundtrack, as a matter of fact, he appears in the film. That's an interesting thing. This story takes place in Berlin, just before Bowie moves to Berlin. And the main character is a David Bowie fan, and in the book and in the film, she keeps on talking about David Bowie, and she goes to a concert by David Bowie during the, I believe, Isolar 1 tour. Now, Bowie found the topic so important, also struggling or dealing with his own drug habit, that he wanted to contribute to this film. And somehow, the combination of his music, Berlin of the 70s, actually shot in the 80s, early 80s, but Berlin of the 70s, Bowie, and this story is magical. I'm a filmmaker, and this is one of the films that made me want to become a filmmaker. As a matter of fact, the raw style, the raw way it is shot, the raw way we see Berlin seriously through the eyes of teenage heroin addicts, and the side of the street they see, the side of the people they see, um, the times that they are there. It is so completely different. When I was 14 years old, I saw this film for the first time. I hadn't heard of anything of David Bowie, only the song Heroes in a commercial. And then I saw this film, and it may sound strange, but in a certain way, this film was liberating. I'll explain. Because these young people were living in the streets and they had homes. Most of them had homes, um, but there was a sense of freedom there. And on the other end, there was a sense of addiction, drug addiction. So it's very ambiguous in that sense. So it spoke to me as a warning and also as a plea that life can be less controlled by your parents, but more controlled by drugs. So stay away of that. Um, Bowie's music is very present there, because when she goes to the concert, Bowie actually appears in the film. He went to the shooting of this film. He did his makeup, like I believe in 1976, but I'm not sure. And he playbacked to a recording of the Isolar 1 tour of Station to Station, the way he opened the show back then. That's his appearance, and the entire soundtrack. I believe they have equalized it, so certain frequencies are heard more like they are heard at that moment where the film takes place. Like when she walks into a club, the higher frequencies they come across in a different manner, and the low frequencies also come across in a different manner. And that way of mixing also makes it for a complete different experience. And when I put this record on, I am re-experiencing this film, and this is one of the films I just keep coming back to. Bowie's music trenches Berlin, and if you watch the film, Berlin trenches Bowie's music. There are a lot of films to which David Bowie contributes, or to which Bowie is very relevant. Labyrinth comes to mind. The Man Who Fell to Earth comes to mind. Merry Christmas, Mr. Lawrence comes to mind. But somehow, no film has captured visually the raw and pure soul that is going on the songs on this soundtrack. This somehow, although it is a story of a 14-year-old girl, it is the story of Bowie as well. And that makes it so special. I am in complete awe, and I was so happy to find this first German pressing, for there's not much to be seen. The artwork resembles the artwork of the film. These are stills from the film. If you haven't seen the film, do yourselves a favor. Please do. Now, when this video is being released, I'm in San Francisco, and my first fiction film is premiering at the Frameline Festival. And I could not have made that film if it wasn't for Christiane F. Wir Kinder Vom Bahnhof Zoo. I could not have made that rawness. I was so inspired by it. Also, the way the music contributes to the film. In my film, we've got music by Ambassade. I love that band, and I might do a video about Ambassade. But also the way the film is used, the music is used, it comes very close. I'm very inspired by the way music um, changes the attitude of a film. So I'm in complete awe of this one. So I'm curious, what do you think? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Leave a comment below, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.